Hey everybody, this is Brett. And this morning I was just checking my email, and thanks so much, Joanna, for the wonderful order. Very nice. I'm sure you're going to love these products. And thank you, Maura, for sending me this article that I'm just about to read to everybody about how in Austria they're locking everyone down that's not vaccinated. This just came out on BBC News 3 hours ago. And so if you're not vaccinated in Austria, you are locked down other than going to work. I guess they're going to allow that at least. And going to the store to get food. So it reads, about 2 million people who have not been fully vaccinated against COVID-19 have been placed in lockdown in Austria as the country faces a surge in cases. We are not taking this step lightly, but unfortunately it is necessary, Chancellor Alex Schallenberg said. Unvaccinated people will only be allowed to leave home for limited reasons, like working or buying food. About 65% of Austria's population is fully vaccinated, one of the lowest rates in Western Europe. Meanwhile, the 7-day infection rate is more than 800 cases per 100,000 people, which is one of the highest in the region. Overall, Europe again became the area most seriously affected by the pandemic, and several countries are introducing restrictions and warnings of rising cases. However, the UK, which has one of the highest COVID infection rates, has yet to reintroduce restrictions despite health leaders calling for rules like mandatory face coverings in crowded and enclosed spaces to be brought back to avoid a winter crisis. The measures introduced in Austria on Monday, which come amid growing pressure on the nation's hospitals, will initially last for 10 days. Children under the age of 12 and people who have recently recovered from the virus will be exempt. So there you go. If you've recently recovered from the virus in Austria, you'll be exempt. Over the weekend, hundreds of people protested outside the Chancellery in the capital, Vienna, waving banners that read, "Our bodies, our freedom to decide." One female protester said she was demonstrating to fight for my rights. "It is totally discriminatory what is happening here," she said. But Professor Eva Schirnhammer of the Medical University of Vienna said that the measures were needed, warning that hospital intensive care units were filling up. "It's already projected that within 2 weeks we'll have reached the limit," she said. Unvaccinated people were already barred from visiting restaurants, hairdressers, and cinemas, but will now be expected to stay home. In reality, we have told 1/3 of the population, you will not leave your home apart from certain reasons, Mr. Schallenberg said. That is a massive reduction in contacts between the vaccinated and the unvaccinated. The government says police will carry out spot checks in public places to determine the vaccination status of individuals and issue fines to those caught breaking the rules. Austria's health ministry says anyone who violates the lockdown for the unvaccinated could be fined 500 EU. See, I put $500 in the thing because it's 572. I'll change it. Sorry. It's $572, while a penalty of 1,450 EU could be incurred for refusing to participate in checks. So if you just refuse to participate in a check, In Austria, you can be fined 1,450 euros. There was a last-minute rush at the vaccination centers in Upper Austria on the eve of the new restrictions. Bunch of people caved, but critics have questioned whether the move is constitutional. The far-right Freedom Party has said that it will create a group of second-class citizens. Case rates rising sharply in parts of Europe. Daily cases per million people. Rolling 7-day average. There you can see Austria is going very high. In neighboring Germany, where Health Minister Jens Spahn has warned of a pandemic of the unvaccinated, the federal government and state leaders are due to meet later this week to discuss possible new restrictions. Germany's 67.3% vaccination rate is higher than Austria, but not by much. Germany has designated Austria a high-risk area, meaning anyone arriving from the country must go into quarantine. In the Netherlands, lockdown-light measures have been imposed to limit social contacts in response to a sharp increase in infections. The measures include early closing for restaurants and shops and barring spectators from sporting events. About 84% of Dutch adults have been fully vaccinated. Most patients in Dutch hospitals have not had their jab. Vaccination rates are significantly lower in some Eastern European nations. Latvia, where 59% of the population are fully vaccinated, reimposed lockdown last month and has banned lawmakers who refuse the vaccine from voting on laws and taking part in debates until the middle of next year. They will also see their pay docked. Imagine that. Let's see who's joined me. Gabriella. Oh, and Gabriella, your order. I think that you're the one that I have to work on here. Good job. Yeah, Gabriella. Your order, I haven't gotten to that one because I don't have enough soothers yet, and I have to go out to the barn to make them in the next couple of days, so you know. And I'm probably going to make the little scrap pillows today. Good morning. They spend too much money on vaccines. Nobody wants to be vaccinated. Expiration date is coming up soon. It's happening in my country. I'm also Hungarian. I'm also Hungarian originally. The corrupt politicians made big mistakes, bought too much of the vaccine. You're welcome. So anyways, I just thought that I would let you know. I'm not sure if you really want me to read the rest of this. I'll go ahead. I'm almost done. Oh yeah, it's almost done. So in Russia, only about 35% of the population has been fully vaccinated, according to our world data. At the end of October, Moscow shut shops, restaurants, and schools in a partial lockdown, and workers were given 9 days paid holiday to curb infections. Some other countries are also introducing measures applying only to the unvaccinated. In Australia, the state of Queensland will bar unvaccinated people from restaurants, pubs, and sports events from the 17th of December. And Singapore has said that those who remain unvaccinated by choice will have to pay for their own medical bills from December. Okay. So, yeah, I think that there are a lot of crazy things going on in our world, and I wanted you to know what's going on so that we're prepared in case this happens here in the US and or in your country. You know, they're out of their minds, in my opinion. So thank you so much for joining me. I've got a big day ahead of me, and I got to get it going. Bye.